This video will show you how to use the project selection worksheet for your Academy project. Before using the scoring worksheet, please be sure that you have already documented 3 to 5 project ideas. All types of work and work processes provide opportunities to learn how to manage improvement of quality. You will have a better chance of selecting a good project if you develop at least 5 project ideas from which to choose your Academy project. Your completed worksheet will look like this. I will show you how to use each part of the worksheet to come up with your project scores. The objective of this activity is to select a project that will provide the most learning opportunities for you to apply Academy concepts to learn and to improve your organization. Please be the only person to score your project ideas, even if you will be working with a team. This is an important part of what you will learn. You can and should discuss your results with others, but the scoring should remain yours. It will be one of the first predictions of many from which you will gain knowledge during the Academy. Score each project idea independently without comparing project scores during the scoring process. Give each of your project ideas a short name and enter each one on a different row in the project name column. You will be able to score your projects more effectively if you discuss your projects with your manager and the people you work with before using the worksheet. After entering the project names, you will score each project using the 5 selection criteria. I will describe how to use each of the criteria. Use your best judgment when entering each score. The worksheet is formatted to allow only certain numbers for each criteria. Please use only the number options that are listed. The worksheet automatically calculates the project scores for you. The projects with the highest scores are likely to provide you with the best learning opportunities and experiences during the Academy. Use a short project title or name to represent each of your project ideas. Enter each project name in its own row under the project name heading. We will use 5 different criteria to score and evaluate each project idea. I will explain the scoring for each of the criteria. Frequency of activity. During the Academy, you will be expected to complete at least one short learning cycle with your project each week. This is much easier to do if there is frequent activity in the work or process. Because of the importance of frequent learning cycles, this is a highly weighted criteria. It will be much easier for you to test your improvement actions when there is daily activity occurring. The scoring for this criteria helps to increase the chances that you will select a project that will help you to learn each week. Support. Feedback from past Academy participants highlight how important it is for your manager, co-workers, or subordinates to support you in making time for your project. Talking with the people at your workplace may be the only way you will be able to get an accurate understanding of what level of support you can expect. As you discuss your project ideas with others, be sure to ask about their willingness to help you find time or their willingness to work with you on your project. Their responses will, of course, be different depending upon the project idea. The Freedom to Act criteria has a powerful influence on how often and easily you will be able to run learning cycles. Some work processes and environments are highly structured, even highly regulated. It is understandable that there will be limited freedom to act in some aspects of those processes. The most freedom to act is often within the scope of your own position or department. Be careful not to presume that you do not have freedom to make some short-term changes for a small test or learning cycle. It is good to discuss this with others. IT resources. Many good project ideas require some type of support from the people in IT. IT resources are frequently difficult to schedule, and even if they can be scheduled, they are frequently unavailable due to an urgent need elsewhere in the organization. I'm in charge of the IT resources in our organization, and even I cannot easily schedule IT resources to work on an improvement project. Because of the challenges that are often faced, projects that require any level of IT resources receive negative scores. If no IT resources are needed, enter 0. Opportunity to learn. The first consideration with this criteria is, have you been assigned a project with a solution that you are expected to implement? If so, This will not be a useful Academy project. An important part of your Academy project will be in learning to see a problem or issue from new perspectives. If a solution is already being implemented, you will have minimal opportunities to try out new points of view on the problem. If some problem identification or analysis work has begun, you may still find opportunities to learn by applying Academy concepts and methods. Your Academy project idea will be most useful if there is a known problem or issue, but the reasons for the problem have not yet been identified. Now that we've reviewed the scoring criteria and definitions, I will use a couple of examples to show you how to score your own project ideas. The scoring process works better if you score one project idea against each of the criteria, entering your scores to fill an entire row before moving on to the next project idea. I'll step through the logic of scoring on a couple of the project ideas. The workflow of claims project is aimed at improving the flow of claims and minimizing the time each claim takes to be completed. Claims are received daily and processing activity happens all day long. 9 for frequency of activity. Although everyone in the office supports the objectives of the workflow project idea, they have not committed to letting you carve out time to work on it. 5 for support. For reasons that are both personal and procedural, your manager has said that any test, however small, must be approved by them first. This will limit your freedom to act, which receives a score of -3. Some of the workflow claims process is automated, and there are many manual steps. It is likely that IT resources could be helpful but not required. IT resources is scored -1. The problems in the process are often talked about, and a couple of brainstorming sessions have occurred, and one claims processor has been recording her own data on defects. But that has been the extent of the problem analysis efforts. Opportunities to learn is scored 5. Here's the scoring for the next 3 project ideas. The strategic planning meeting process project idea could be a high leverage project for the organization. However, as it is conceived, it is not very high scoring as an Academy project. We have had leadership meeting improvement projects become very good Academy projects because they broke down the meeting process into smaller testable components. As a result, both learning and improvement in outcomes were produced. With the strategic planning meeting process, it is intended to address the annual planning event, 1 for frequency of activity. While most people in the organization have some interest in the process, it is not an urgent concern for them, and none have expressed support for the idea. 1 for support. All top leadership has some stake in the process, and changes will not be made without formal approvals. -5 for freedom to act. There are no requirements for which IT resources might be needed. 0 for IT resources. Opportunity to learn is very high. No one in the organization has attempted to improve the strategic planning meeting for many years. It is known that the process is not always smooth, and the results of the past few meetings have been lackluster. 9 for opportunity to learn. The worksheet calculates each project's total score automatically. More weight or emphasis is placed on the frequency of activity criteria than on the other criteria because it is helpful to be able to answer the question, what is a test I can run and learn from this week, today, in the next hour? The scores that we gave these projects indicate that customer complaint handling is likely to be a good project to use in the Academy. Workflow of claims is a distant second choice. It is unlikely that either web services restructuring or strategic planning meeting process will be useful Academy project selections. With at least 3 other people, discuss your project ideas, your selection process, and the project selection score sheet. Record what you learned from each of those conversations, documenting the name of the people with whom you talked and what you learned by talking with them. If you have questions not answered by this video, please contact me, Eric Budd,